meeting, Madam Chairman.
Thank you. All right, it is November 10th at 6:31, and I'd like to call to order this Public Health and Safety meeting. The first up on the agenda, which I apologize, I just closed. Oh, geez. Sorry. Okay, first up on the agenda is public appearances, non-agenda items. Scott, would you help me out? Are there any visitors that we have?
No one in the room tonight.
Thank you very much. Next, we have the consent agenda. Shannon, if you wouldn't mind making a motion that it would include the October 27th meeting minutes and the routine licenses.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes from last time and the licenses.
Perfect. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, for agenda item number 4, we have consideration of applications for residential neighborhood event and street use permit. And we have the Fitchburg Family Pharmacy COVID-19 testing services curbside. Shannon, would you mind making a motion for approval?
I'll make a motion for approval.
Great. And then I do see that we have Chad online, I believe, or excuse me, Thad. I apologize. Thad, would you mind kicking us off and just telling us a little bit more about this event?
Sure. So we've been approached by Madison or Public Health Madison and Dane County, along with the state of Wisconsin, to help expand testing services for COVID-19. In partnership with Public Health Madison and Dane County, we've agreed to start testing, and we've been doing that for about a week and a half. In order to make this work, we had to seal off the back entrance to our pharmacy so that it is a separate entity from the rest of the store, so our staff can continue to work and do what they've always done, while we have members of our staff work in the back part of the store, which we call the bubble. Because we're working out of the back of the store, it makes it not very effective to use our parking lot for this service, which we did all for the last 6 months for our curbside pickup with prescriptions and immunizations. We were fortunate enough to get some space on the side of our pharmacy, which is High Ridge Trail, just by putting some cones out. We are hoping that this committee can approve or recommend clearing some parking for us on Cahill Main behind our pharmacy. The traffic is slower. They're automatically slowing down for the stop sign at the corner of High Ridge Trail and Cahill Main. We've had our pharmacists out giving the tests and being brushed by mirrors as people speed by on High Ridge Trail. Our goal is to maybe have like 100 feet of parking saved for us, which is basically the length of our building. I have a Google map if you wanted me to show you what I was thinking, but basically the length of our building, which would allow 20 or 30 feet away from the stop sign, and then allow about 4 or 5 cars to park behind one another, and anticipating moving forward for testing.
Good. And I know 4 or 5 cars, that's if it's on the High Ridge Trail length, correct? And if it's on the Cahill Main, that would be potentially the 10-car lengths. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yeah, so right now we have 5-minute appointments. And so with 5-minute appointments, we don't get more than about 2 or 3 cars backed up at a time. And currently we have about 3 spaces on High Ridge Trail. And what we're seeing is people are basically parking on the corner, like in front of the stop sign. It's not a good situation, so we have to go out there and kind of redirect traffic. Whereas if we were on Cahill Main, there's a long stretch there that, cars can be against the curb without impeding any traffic.
Thank you. That cleared it up for me.
Sure.
Tracy, and I know Chief Brecklin is on. Do you have anything to add, Tracy, before I just kind of ask Chief Brecklin?
No, just some comments that were spoken were regarding using Cahill Main versus High Ridge Trail for this. And then there was also questions about a limitation The application states until COVID is gone. Obviously, we don't know when that'll be. So possibly looking at approving this for 60 days and revisiting it again prior to that 60-day expiration is a possibility. We could go, 90 days, whatever the board approves. So.
Okay. Just so for my clarification, would it be, if we did approve it for 60 days, does that have to come back, or is it something that we just, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would not need to attend again because it's just a extension of his current license, but yeah, it should be approved again,
Okay,
be extended.
that feels better. I just was curious. I was like, oh gosh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And of course, if we stopped testing, then we would say you don't need to save the parking for us. But as far as we can tell, we're slated to do it, scheduled to do it through the end of the year.
Chief Brecklin, thank you for submitting your comments. Do you have anything else to add or any questions or?
Oh, good evening, everyone. First off, I would go through the area after Thad contacted me, and I do agree that Cahill, Maine is a better location to use for this process. It's going to definitely be safer for the pharmacy staff, the people getting tested, and then also for the motoring public as well. So I also would concur that it would make sense to put at least some measure of a limitation on the length of time. Whether that be 60 days or perhaps, February 1st or whatever the case may be. I think, that has just indicated they certainly plan on doing it through December 31st. And we definitely want to get him into January in case he finds out he's going to test longer. So that'd be where I'm at with it. I can certainly work with the Public Works Department in order to get that area posted, assuming there's approval granted tonight at the council meeting. And then work with the Public Works Department to ensure that the signage is adequate and, that they're periodically checking that as well in case, weather or other situations arise that would potentially limit the signs that they've put up. So we're good with it. I know that Bill from Public Works has weighed in and he's good with it as well. And I assume, I think Joe from Fire also weighed in and he's good as well.
Wonderful. Shannon, any questions from you?
No.
I guess so.
So Sarah, you would want to make a motion to amend to approve based on whatever date to be revisited prior to that date for an extension.
That makes sense. Shannon, I guess I would think that maybe amending it to, I know Thad said through the end of the year. I don't want to butt up against the holidays. That I do kind of like Chief Brecklin's idea of February 1st, 2021. If we said,
I'd be okay with that.
you'd be okay with that?
Yeah,
Tracy?
yeah.
Okay, Tracy, do you have any concerns with that? I know it's a little bit further. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, and too, with all the holidays and stuff coming up, it would be just kind of nice just to have it set. So we don't really have to worry about the holidays and, trying to figure out when to extend it.
I think that makes sense to me, but Thad, then would you be okay if we kind of amended this to say that it would be approved? It would just have to come back by February 1st, 2021, and we would look to have it be on that Cahill, Maine side. Does that work for you if we are kind of meeting your needs? Does that sound good?
Yeah, it sounds great. That will work for us. Hopefully by February 1st, we're coming back asking you to extend it so that we can be giving COVID vaccine in big long lines of 10 and 15 cars.
So I have one comment to that regard. So I would look at what your public safety meeting is in February, and that would be the date. That way, if it needs to be extended, you don't have to worry about an odd deadline.
That makes sense. Let's see here. I guess, Tracy, would it meet the needs if we said to the February 2021? I think it looks like it'd be February 9th, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shannon, I guess we're amending this to make a motion to amend this to say that the February 2021 meeting, this would need to be reviewed again, and we're giving approval for the COVID testing along the Cahill, Maine. I guess if we have that amendment on the floor, can we just say all those in favor say aye? Aye. Motion carries. So Thad will probably not see you in February unless we are modifying it, but otherwise you're good until then. And thank you very much for coming in tonight.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
All right, so then I have just number 5 is the announcements. And the next announcement is that the next meeting is November 24th. And then I would take a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carried, and we are now adjourned at 6:41.